Hi. It's been too late, I know. I just came yesterday morning. I'm just in love with this place and the whole university and all of you guys. I basically learned Indian classical music, which is, I don't know what I'm feeling after the talk of what Benjamin did, but that's what I tried to did, like a little bit of that, but in my own way and my own experiences in my life. Uh, I wanted to share with you how music changes in life and changes the perception of somebody in life and the space we live in. I was performing at a festival in UK, in Leicester, which was called the Indian Summer. Uh, the whole festival was about celebrating India in different ways. We have so many things in India to celebrate. Everybody knows about it. And it was like this festival, they wanted to celebrate it, celebrating India in a different country. So, and I was part of the festival. They invited me to perform there. Uh, they were celebrating India with food, culture, clothes, dance, music, and lots of things which you can think of. For me, I thought that, I wanted to connect with the people because I'm an Indian and they're calling me to perform in that country. I wanted to go one-on-one with them. But that was not possible because that was a festival, so I had to perform. So I did an interactive session with a friend of mine who was based in India. So the session was all about me doing a Skype jugalbandi or a jam session with another artist in a different country. So here, the main idea behind the whole thing was that me connecting with a friend of mine who is Robin Sukaria. You can see him. He was based in India. I was in the festival there. And we thought of we'll have a jam session between us. And this was, again, experimentation for us itself, because we have never done that. And we will do it in front of the people there who are watching us, because I didn't want to perform just my tabla in front of them. So the audience over there who were taking part in the whole festival was mainly non-South Asians, South Asians, and like diversified audience from generations. There was from small kids to old people. So it was a brilliant experience for me to be a part of that festival. I wanted to play what happened when we were starting the whole session of that interactive process.
So, Robin, I don't know if you can hear us. Can you give everybody a wave?
Very good.
Okay, here we go. So, he's in Ahmedabad. Can you tell us what's it like in Ahmedabad? Is it hot? What time is it right now?
It's pretty hot. Today was around 104 degrees, I think, Fahrenheit, which is about 44 degrees Celsius. It's extremely humid. The rains haven't arrived yet, but the monsoon is about to arrive any minute. Everybody here is counting the days until the rains come. I've been eating a lot of mangoes. The mangoes here are amazing. It's like...
How much are they? Is it cheap for a box?
Basically, you can buy, you can buy a box of mangoes for about 100 rupees, which is, I don't know.
What we're going to do is we're going to try to attempt to do a live jugalbandi. So Mayur will be playing on this end, and Robin will be playing on that end. Robin, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can everybody say hello to Robin?
Hi, Robin!
Hello, a pleasure to meet all of you, and thank you for having me.
So you could see the setup was all through Skype. Everything was online. And the best part about the whole performance for me was not the actual performance, but if you could see, even before the performance started, people started interacting with Robin as if they are already in India. And they just started talking about weather, and they actually started discussing mango prices comparing to UK and India. How cheap are they? One of the ladies just said that, send some here. So for me, that was the performance. What was the performance for me is that this instrument, which was the actual idea of having the whole performance off, didn't even went there. And before that, they started interacting with each other. that was the point of access for people to interact with each other. And that's where I thought that what this instrument can do. So we have tabla as an instrument, which was, again, the point of dialogue. People were there talking about just different things and celebrating the whole vibe, but it was creating the access for the instrument, the interaction and the communication between the people which happened there and then. If you see, how could tabla be in that position can do that? There are a lot of things which this instrument has done over about, I think, 70 to 80 years, which I have seen through my learnings and stuff like that. This instrument can actually communicate with people with its deepest roots because it has that ability of interacting with other people with its vocabulary and the most expressive way of it, the way it's been made and it's been played. Talking about this instrument, I think that I've never come across such a beautiful instrument which also plays a melodical form and not just a rhythmic form of tabla, which means, for example, this is a key. This is a key which you hear on a piano or a santoor or on any other instrument, on a melodic instrument. Even this is a key. Even this is a key. For example, if I play something which is, basically I'm joining different parts of keys and melodical elements and creating a rhythm out of it. So this instrument has the melodic and the rhythmic form of communicating with people. And that's what the best part about this instrument is for me. What I learned with my training of tabla was a very conventional form of tabla playing. When I say conventional form of tabla playing means usually in a classical training sessions, we go through about 7 to 8 hours of practice sessions and what we call it as riyaz. And that's what I learned from my guru. Different forms, compositions, and just practicing Indian classical tabla. But for me, it wasn't enough to excite me and to make it more interesting. How could I make that interesting, and how could I do it in such a way that, it excites me more to do more things? I did about 20 years of tabla training from my guru. I just loved the way I'd gone through with the whole journey of learning my instrument. But then, I started fiddling around with the new technology and the stuff I was learning on my own. So here I did what I thought of was, how about playing this instrument with an electronic programmed beat, which is made by me. I compose the beat exactly the way I want, and I play the same form of tabla, which I've learned from my guru, with that beat. And I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, but let's see how it sounds. So that's what I did. So for example, over here, there's a bowl which my guru taught me, was dha krdhati dhage na dhina gina dhati dhage dhina krdhati dhage na dhati dhage dhina gina. Now this is like a proper conventional way of doing tabla and talking tabla. We call it vocal percussions or padhan or different ways of saying it. So dha krdhati dhage na dhati dhage dhina dhati dhage na dhina gina dhati dhage dhina gina ta krdhati dhage na dhina gina dhati dhage dhina dhati dhage na dhati dhage dhina gina. Now when you guys are listening to me, you're like, man, he's talking something else. I don't know what language he's talking. But that's what I've learned all my life. But for me, that was not enough again. So I thought, okay, let's play this, what I just said. It's So basically, I play the same thing which I say, but for me, I wanted to change something in this and make it more exciting. So I started making this computerized beats, and then I made this a simple track, a composition, and then played the same thing with that. And this is how it sounds. So when I did this, I practiced this form of playing. I thought that this is exciting me. Let's practice this form of playing with a lot of different beats and different new sounds which people are listening to in this day and age. I started performing this in my performances. And once, I was just playing at this festival last year in a college. And some of you guys, you know, people like you who are really young, it was their annual festival, and they were like, yes, this is our festival, and we're going to make the most out of it. And I was performing this kind of music in front of them. A 15-year-old kid came to me, and he said, I want to play tabla like you. And I was like, hold on, what did you say? He said, I want to play tabla like you. For me, when he said that, I thought, he doesn't know what he's saying. He just saw me performing. He thought this instrument on his own way. What this instrument does was something else for him. He didn't know what I was playing. Was it a classical form? Was it a light classical form? Or what it was? It didn't have any clue of what it was. But still, he wanted to learn that instrument. And I felt so happy about it. And then I realized that this instrument made an access point to him. Because he would have never thought this listening to some classical performance in his life, because he was always scared of that. I'm not understanding what is happening there. So this form of presentation of tabla was really inspiring for him. And he said that I want to learn tabla. That's where I understand that this instrument can do actually the access for anybody's life and can change the perception of sound and music in his life. Later on, coming to the actual performance and the playing style, I wanted to do a simple exercise with you guys over here. So let's say I divide you guys over here in 3 different groups. So we don't have people sitting here, they're all on the back, so that's okay, but I'm just dividing you guys into 3 groups. So maybe one is this on the left and on the right. So for example, if I tell you guys that you guys have to just remember one thing called dhin, which is a bowl in a tabla form. It's called dhin. Can you say it loudly, dhin? Not all of you, just the middle people. Loudly. Come on, man, loudly. Very good. You guys are not saying anything. It's dhin, yeah? You guys are thin. Come on, louder. Brilliant, excellent. You are thin, you are? And you guys are na. Simple, na. Yeah? So it's dhin, na. Yeah? So you have to just look at my hands. Just look at my hands. Whenever I point it out on you, you just say that word. Just remember your word. Don't get into other people's words. Whenever I come to you, just say that word, okay? And look at me carefully. This is just an experiment I'm doing here with you guys, okay? Brilliant. Good round of applause for you guys, man. Over here, you didn't realize that you actually played a 10-cycle beat in Indian classical music, which is a very complex beat to play. For a learner, if you go to learn tabla, it will take almost a year and a half to reach there, but you actually just did it. So over here, I again say, the access was so easy for you guys that you just did it like that. And that's what the point for me is, that the accessiveness of this instrument is so easy that it creates a three-dimensional structure for me, which is access, communication, and interaction with you guys. For me, this is what this instrument did, and this is what is changing the world in the perspective of the global music phenomena. What this music can do in the terms of where it's coming from and where it can go, I don't know. This instrument was about 500 years old. This is creating a worldwide phenomena, groundbreaking things all around the world, experimenting with different artists, having collaboration with different artists, and still it's having its own identity as its instrument. Being such an old instrument, now becoming a new phenomena, the technology is changing the view for this instrument. What can it do? Whether things like Skype or even TED can change or even have a thought in people like you that it's difficult to understand or not. Thanks a lot.